podcast today. I'm so excited for this lovely episode today. It's been a very very wonderful episode. I actually wanted us to actually tackle more basically on financial literacy. Like financial literacy teaches us more about finance. It actually teaches us more about our financial statements. Those things are very important, especially when we're going to be talking about the four quadrants. But either way, those ones are going to be, you're going to see them on the following episodes that are going to be launched soon. But for today, what we're going to be focusing on is we're going to be focusing on the power of assets. So we're going to be focusing on the 5 assets that actually creates cash flow. So I'm sure that all of us, we are working, all of us, we're doing whatever we're doing. We're trying to be entrepreneurs. We're trying to fight for financial freedom. So financial freedom is very vital. So that's why I found it very interesting, because hence I've been calibrating throughout this time, and also most of the time through my experiences, it has been a very good experience for me, even though it was a bit hard. But I realized that financial literacy is all that you need in today's generation. So the first point that we're going to be tackling is dividends. So I want to know, my audience, do you understand what dividends is? But the dividends that I'm going to be explaining to you, it's going to be the dividends of stock. So I'm going to reference the dividends in a very proper sequence, so I don't want to make it long. So I want you to give you a perspective of what it actually means and what it literally means. So on the dividends of stock, it's, for example, maybe you're owning an SP 500 stock in one of the most biggest companies, or maybe you're owning stock in Tesla, or maybe you have specific shares that you bought in that specific company. Amazon, if maybe it's Amazon. So it's very important. So let's say maybe you bought stocks of maybe approximately 500 or 5,000. Let's say 50,000, for example. Maybe you bought 50,000 stocks or shares in SP 500, one of the most biggest companies in the United States or other countries. Let's say you bought 50,000 shares or stock, right? So that means that in that specific, let's say every year you are in a yearly dividends. You're not in a 6-month dividends. You're receiving your yield dividends in a year. So that means that you're receiving a specific amount of percentage. Let's say you bought 50,000 stocks, and then one stock, it's approximately $1,000, let's say. So it actually means that every year you're gonna receive a certain amount of yield dividends, right? So that means that, let's say your specific company actually made a profit of maybe 50,000%. You see, so that means you're gonna get, let's say your yearly yield dividends, it's, let's say 30%. Maybe you got 30% profit from your investments in that specific company. So it means that for every $1,000, for every dollars that you receive, you're gonna get 30% from the profits that each and every dollars you invested in that company. You're gonna get 30%. Let's say in 1,000, we're gonna take 30% of 1,000, right? I'm sure you're able to calculate that. So in that 30%, that means that you're gonna receive 30% on all the stocks that accumulate to 50, or each and every stock that accumulates to 1,000. So you bought 50,000 stocks of $1,000. So you're gonna receive 30% of every $1,000 stock that you own in that specific company. So how much dividends are you gonna get? So you're gonna take that 30%, you times it by 50,000. Then you're gonna get the percentage of your yearly dividends. Can you see how much money you're making? It's a lot of money. And then you still own those shares. You still own them. But the boring part is that you don't control the performance. The company has the probability and the reference of performance. So, and then the other thing is you're gonna receive the yield percentages every year on your dividend stock. So it's one of the most biggest investments. It's an asset. Remember that your stock doesn't actually lose value. It only fluctuates. Sometimes it performs well, sometimes it doesn't perform well. So it's actually a good thing for you to rather put your money on where it actually can go up or can go down. because investments are risky either way. So when you're putting your money in an asset, at least your money is there, right? You're able to sell your asset rather than saving money where you can't save it. Where are you going to save your money? It's a problem, you see. So dividend stocks are one of the most powerful concepts, powerful investments that you can venture into. It can make a very big difference. We have cryptos, we have also SP 500s. There's a lot of investments that you can invest in. So you just have to search the companies that actually specializes in those stocks. So I'm sure that you have an understanding when it comes to what dividend stock actually entails, right? So our second point is cash flow of real estate. This is very interesting, guys. Like, I'm sure that you want to know how the real estates actually work. You want to understand specifically everything of how these things operate. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a scenario. I feel like if I give you a scenario of what cash flow real estate actually stands for, I feel like it's going to be much more easy for you to actually comprehend. So let's say, for example, we find a rental. Like, we find a rental, and then the rental it's worth $200,000. Let's say the rental it's worth $200,000, and then in your account, let's say in your mutual account, you only have 50,000. Let's say you have $50,000 that you can actually spend. So what you can do is, in that $50,000, you can take that $50,000 and go to the real estate agent of that rental. Tell the real estate that now you want to deposit that $50,000, right? You can deposit that $50,000, and in you depositing that $50,000, it's nice because now that rental it's under your name. You're done negotiating with the real estate agent that you wanna buy you wanna buy the rental, you wanna own it, right? So the real estate wants you to pay him $200,000. So now you told the real estate, for now, let me pay a quarter of the money, right? And then now the rental is going to be under my name. It's going to be under your name, right? And then when the rental is under your name, you're going to go to the bank. Now that's when we go to what we call a financial statement. So we don't know what a financial statement is, right? Majority of us don't understand what a financial statement is. So a financial statement, that's very, very important. It's very, very, very important for you to understand more. So guys, remember that this is just educational purposes, right? I'm not advising anyone to do anything. I'm just giving you knowledge based on my experience and what I've actually accumulated. So if you feel like this will work for you, it's up to you. I'm not advising anyone to do anything. For educational purposes, yes, but to advise anyone, we are not. So hence I was actually saying that you can go to the bank. So the bank, since they check your financial statement, they will realize that you have an asset in your column, which is your rental, right? So they know that the money that you're borrowing, obviously you're going to be able to pay it over time. You're going to be able to pay it because it's an asset. An asset generates cash flow, right? It definitely generates cash flow. So the bank will borrow you the remaining expenses. They actually help us a lot, because when you know that, as I was saying that, let's say the rental it's actually 1.5. Like the residents that are coming, they're actually paying $1.5. Yeah, $1.5. They pay that monthly. So do you see how good that is? So let's say all my expenses are worth all my expenses is maybe 600 rand or $700. They are worth $700, all my expenses. Can you see that how much money am I making? So I'm gonna take $1.5 and then I'm gonna minus $700. So I'm gonna be left with how much? Let's say maybe it's at 8. Yeah, I think it's gonna be $800. So I'm gonna make $800 every month. So I'm making $800 every month. So if I take $800 every month and I multiply it by a year times 12, how much money am I making? So can you see that I make a lot of money? I make profits, and then the tenants are paying. Just admit, the tenants are actually paying for me. They're actually paying. They are paying the rental for me. You understand? So I'm making profits. I make profits every month, and at the same time, I'm also paying the rent. Can you see that it's a lot of money? Okay, so make sure that you reference more on these things, because like real estate, it's very interesting. I just love real estate. That's why I'm also dwelling deeper in the real estate. Is amazing, guys. It's super amazing. Research more about real estate and acknowledge. Hence was referring to more on bonds. Like a lot of investors and a lot of people don't feel like bonds are actually a good asset though. But I feel like it's necessary though. You know, bonds. You must understand what bonds are actually affected. What is affecting the bonds? So the bonds are actually affected by the markets, right? If the market is performing well, you know that the bonds are not performing well. When the market is not performing well, you know the bonds are not performing well. So that's why I'm saying, if you can invest maybe 90% of your investments into the market, like stock, like real estate and all those things. Like if you have the ability to invest most of your investments, like Warren Buffett. Like Warren Buffett invests 90% of his money in SP 500, SP 500 companies. You know, he invests most of his money in those big companies because those companies are assets. So he only invests 10% of his investment into mutual like bonds, because he knows that if maybe something happens to the markets, he knows that he still has some money. He's still making money in those bonds. So also bonds are one of the most good investments that you can also venture into. But I'm not gonna go too much in that. But I'm telling you, the bonds has a very good effect. They can actually make a very good effect when it comes to investment. So, and another point that we're going to be focusing on today, it's going to be cash flow of businesses. Let's say this cash flow of businesses, these are the business that you don't actually see them in the markets, right? They don't usually appear in the markets too much. You can make a lot of money from that. I mean, like you can accumulate a lot of money from these businesses because, like for example, we have shares, we have restaurants, we have coffee shops, we have ATMs, and also we have what are those things, man? We also have franchises. So if you can also search more on franchises and those things, you can make money. But remember, on these franchises, what you can do is you can buy franchises, you can open a restaurant, and you can also open a coffee shop. What you do is you can take people, you can hire people to manage those businesses for you, right? The only thing that you need to do is to manage the finances and the profits. You just need to only check the performance of workers and the performance. You exchange their understanding of work with salary. So you pay them a salary, you just pay them a salary, and then they do the whole work for you. The only thing that you do, you just only check the performance of your business. That's what you do. So I feel like it's good because another thing of managing your business, it's another big responsibility. So if you have the ability to hire some workers in your business, can make a very huge difference. It can help you like nobody's business. You see, so it can make a very huge difference. So yes, franchises and businesses, these are assets, so they can create cash flow for you. You have people with doctorates, masters, people who studied those positions of managers, whatever positions that people studied, they can make your business to flourish. You can have cash flow from those businesses. The only thing that you did is just to purchase those businesses, franchises, those coffee shops, so you can make a lot of money. So the only thing that you need to do, guys, is just research more on these things. Like you must research a lot on these things. These things can change your life like within a blink of an eye, guys. And it seems like it's philosophy. It's not. It's real. It's actually real. You just need to be consistent and you need to be committed with what you're actually trying to invest in. Stick to one thing until it's successful. We have a quote that stands focus. Do you know what focus? The focus acronym word stands for Follow one course until it's successful. Follow one course until it's successful. That's what focus means. So for your business to be successful, you need to focus on one business until it starts running itself. Then you can move to another. You understand? That's when you start knowing that your business is successful. It starts generating money on its own. So yes, I hope that actually made a very a good impact in your perspective, because like these things you must learn. Financial literacy is very powerful. It's very powerful. So I would literally appreciate you guys to embrace financial literacy, because it will make a very huge difference in your lives. Now, hence we're actually discussing more about the cash flow of businesses. Guys, these things can actually work in your favor if you learn to accumulate, learn to teach yourself, be a child, and try to learn. Try to improve yourself in all forms of life. Then you will see that whatever you invest in, whatever you put your time in, it will surely work in your favor. It will surely work for you. It may not be today, it may not be this year, it may not be the coming year, but it might be after 5 years. You will be shocked by the impact that it creates in your life. It'll change your life for the good. So either way, our last point now is going to be the startups and startups and the upcoming companies. Do you know how powerful startups and upcoming companies can create in your perspective and in your life? It can create a lot of difference when it comes to finance. It can create a lot of difference when it comes to finance. It can actually create a very huge impact for you, because like, have you realized that all those companies that are actually well known now, these companies that we call big companies, are you aware that when the time they were not that influential, we were not paying attention to them? That's the boring part that I don't like about a majority of the society out there, is that like they like investing on things when it's late. Like, I mean, like, why don't you search for upcoming companies? Because it's not expensive. I'm sure the investments are not expensive. You can invest at a very cheaper price, and then you'll be able to sell those stocks or those assets at a very higher price. Because, and since now that this generation, things are moving very quick. Things are moving very quick. There's technology. Things are very fast. So the company, in less than 3 years or 5 years, it's already booming. It's there. It's already booming. It's increased like 50% up, 60%, 40% improvement with less than a year, with a couple of months. So the company now, maybe the stocks are, let's say, 500 Rand. They're actually cheap. You find that maybe that company after let's say 2 to 3 years, those stocks are actually 10,000 each. You find that each stock is 10,000 from 500 Rand. So that's why I'm saying that if maybe you bought 5,000 stock in that upcoming company, can you see that you can make a lot of money? So you must teach yourself to research and see, look at this upcoming companies, the startup companies. Look at their performance. What would they perform? Look at what they're selling. What products are they producing? The products that they're producing, what difference that it can contribute to society? How can the society use that products that the company is producing in the long term? Look at the long term and look at the short term of that specific company. Whatever products it's producing, it can make a lot of money for you. You can know that in the upcoming future, or in the upcoming years, these products that are actually cheap now, they're going to be very expensive. And then a lot of wealthy investors are going to invest in those upcoming companies, because they know that these companies can make a lot of money. They can take advantage of those companies. They know that. So as an individual, as a retailer, I would advise you to search more about these companies, learn more, learn what they are producing. Look at the SP500 now, it's booming like nobody's business. Look at the cryptos, look at the Bitcoin. But when they started, we were not taking them into consideration. It's not long. Look at now. Bitcoin is approximately a million or 500,000. How much is a million or 500? Just imagine. So guys, I hope if maybe this concept there, it was not maybe enlightened, I don't know, but I would literally appreciate you to send your comment and please like to our channel, share, like our channel, subscribe, share with your friends. I'm sure some of your friends might find this interesting. Yeah, maybe for you this is not your thing, it's okay, we understand, but I'm sure that your friends and your family members might find it interesting. So I would literally appreciate you that you share and subscribe with your family members and friends, your colleagues, your contacts, or whoever that might find it interesting. It might make a difference in their lives. So we are not professionals, we're not experts, but sharing opinions and perspectives in lives helps a lot. So the reason why financial literacy is important, we also lead this our channel based on financial literacy because all careers they need finance to be stable. So the reason why is that we don't accumulate more of financial literacy. That is why some of these things we don't actually understand. But I hope that this channel will actually bring insight for you. It'll make a difference. It'll create an impact in your lives. We hope it'll make a difference. We hope to see you soon on our next episode. Please have a wonderful day.